Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Against the Storm, Keepers of the Stone, where you can see here we've finished out this rain shade settlement, and this is the amount of time that it took for us to do it. The number of seasons that we spend working on each settlement does matter, because there's only so many years before the next Blightstorm cycle resets all of our progress. We need to get over to the seal before that happens. Is there another? There is another seal, but it's like in extremely the wrong direction. Also, there's this situation occurring, an ominous presence, something trapped beneath the ground. That seems like a real worry about it later kind of problem, because right now we need to go this way. So we could go like this, just south of the Overgrown Library, but then we'd have to tweak our path even further south or east in order to interact with any of these other points of interest. I think I'm going to aim us like this. We'll pass along its west side and then squeeze between these two so we can interact with whatever that is, and then head toward the seal. But before we go doing any of that, we have banked some resources here, some food stockpiles and stuff. Let's head back to the smoldering city and spend them. In addition, we accomplished a bunch of deeds, which will give us some rewards. Our own little quarters in the city. This is not so exciting. It's just a little like cosmetic thing. But some of this other stuff is going to be additional experience, which is going to, when we hit level thresholds, unlock new blueprints, new cornerstones, other stuff like that. So new upgrades for the Citadel. The blueprints for the cellar and the smelter are now available. Sometimes we get paved roads, which are even better than normal roads, but obviously they do have a cost. A new trader who can show up. Might have metal, fuel, tools. Yeah, good stuff. And a couple of new cornerstones that we can earn. So just throwing stuff into the randomization pool. Very like Binding of Isaac style. So we sure did gain a lot of XP. Designs for a couple more luxury buildings. The distillery, which we got to see a little bit of. The stamping mill. Okay, and then yeah, cornerstones and stuff. Also, new kinds of small buildings. You can see this is a comfort building. We haven't really talked about what building these sort of like cosmetic structures around town does, but we will with this next settlement. It was like I just didn't want to layer one more thing on top of everything that was going on, because it is, you know, it's a game that has a lot of stuff going on in it. So notice that last one was for completing a game with the Petrified Necropolis modifier. Part of the reason that I'm going out of my way to interact with the points of interest is just because they are interesting, as the name suggests. It is cool to get to do that. But also they do give us rewards. Like it is actually mechanically valuable to interact with as many of those as we can. So if we continue pushing up this path, we'll continue reducing the Queen's impatience, growth speed. Additional options to choose from when picking blueprints obviously is pretty valuable. Allows you to pay Amber to re-roll your blueprints. We can't get beyond this until we are level 5. +1 embarkation points. Unlocking some new embarkation bonuses is probably valuable before we pick up any new points. More cornerstones in the pool to choose from. More resources for this screen. Trade routes with other nearby settlements is definitely an interesting bonus. Interesting and meaningful. Permanent +2 boost to global production speed. Yeah, that's pretty rad. I think let's gain a little bit more control over our blueprints before we worry about anything else. Actually, we still have 15 food stockpiles left. I guess I can grab one more thing. If we're gonna do that, I think let's take the ability to start with some clay or stone, because that's a valuable thing. So okay, that's right. There's a little like story sequence or whatever when you enter your house for the first time. If I'm honest, I don't have a lot of interest in that bit of the game. Apologies. Let me know if you really want to see it. We can take some time for it, but for right now, I just want to continue out this way. So this is the noble city of towards Bookington. And as we leave the library, of course, we will lay down away from Bookington. What do we want to start with? A little bit of metal, in case we want to build some pipes or something. Or 7 people. 7 people's pretty good. I do like starting with beavers an awful lot, because it means you get those very efficient lumber camps right away. And then with our 3 points, like, do I want to bring some stone? The biggest value that stone has is that if you find an early resource cache, you can use the stone to break it open and basically parlay the stone into a larger amount of materials instead of worrying about sending it back right away with tools that you won't yet have. We probably, well, given how aggressively I like to build early, maybe it is a good idea to bring extra food. And then we're starting with a little bit of porridge even, and some fish in addition to the 30 eggs that we usually begin with. You know what? I'm going to take the stone. We're going to see if we can make something interesting out of this. We should probably actually look at the conditions of this place. So the additional effects of the library. One of your starting blueprint choices is replaced by a wild card. Choose one blueprint from all unlocked blueprints. Oh, that's interesting. The trees in this area give wood and algae and vegetables. Okay, food from the trees. That's cool. And the kinds of natural resources we can expect to see. Okay. Let's not turn it up to veteran just yet. We'll do one more pioneer at least. Yeah, I think I'm ready to embark. I think we are on top of this. So a lot about how exactly you build things out in each settlement is going to come down to which blueprint choices become available and which resources you find in your glades. Oh, I didn't even read I just read Overgrown Library. There were other things. After using bait 150 times in your fishing huts, you'll unlock the ability to sacrifice algae in the ancient hearth to reduce hostility. That's interesting. Also, a strider port. Your settlement begins on the coast of this strange land near an ancient strider port. Use it to send out expeditions in search of blueprints and treasure. You'll receive fewer blueprints from reputation. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's really interesting. Okay, so new stuff. Oh, I don't super love that. Look at the platypus guy. I do super love that. I love that very much. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to worry too much about this. We're going to talk about hearth levels this time, but I will get there when I get there. So the first thing we get is a wild card. Anything that we have unlocked, we can pull in. My immediate thought is one of these luxury buildings, because not only do they generally have, some kind of luxury need thing, each of them gives some passive effect as long as they are staffed. Lizard tribes have a long tradition of both animal husbandry and meat preparation. All meat-based complex foods give 2 more resolve. And all camps produce double yield? Wow, really? That seems very good, except for the woodcutters camp. That makes sense. So yeah, I don't think it would be horrible to have a clan hall up. What does the guild house do? +1 to global resolve every time you sell goods worth 75 amber, and the bonus stacks. That's pretty cool. So it stacks up over time. Or, like the tavern just gives +3 global resolve, as we saw, which is very good for pushing early reputation and making sure silly things don't go wrong. The other thing we could do is try to pick up a building that creates stuff that fulfills a particular need. Obviously, like a bakery or something like that would be potentially pretty powerful for this. Not that I necessarily want to do a run that feels terribly similar to last time. We can make coats. Coats are a valuable need, right? Or we could start with the type of housing unlocked already and just push really hard on that. That's kind of interesting. Starting with the housing unlocked and then like favoring humans. It'll make things pretty rough for our poor beavers though. Like during the storm, they will actually be pretty close to zeroing out their reputation. Or a farm. Yeah, just start with a farm. So obviously small farms are powerful for growing grain, which helps you get flour. You can get flour you can grind up roots too, right? But the grain is the 2-star crop here. You produce more of it. The plantations, plant fibers, make fabric. So this one helps if you think you're going to be making a lot of fabric. I have to say, I kind of love the lizard thing, the clan hall. It does seem to me very good that you could get camps doubling up. We won't be able to build this right away. It's very expensive. But I am actually going to take it as an early... Perhaps that's foolish. We'll find out. Okay, so more efficient plank production and tool production are both pretty valuable, but obviously, like, the thing we just picked up allows us to take unusual advantage of meat goods, but it doesn't, the fancy meat goods, but it doesn't allow us to actually build the fancy meat goods. So we do still need a source of something like this. Hold on a second. Let me roll these out. What do we overlap on? Pickled goods. Pickled goods can be pickled meats, right? I think I've already forgotten what that blueprint does because I'm very memory. What's the word I'm looking for? Bad at remembering things. Buildings. Sorry, clan hall. Jerky, skewers, pies, and pastes. Okay. So... jerky, skewers, meat pie is the only one that doubles up over here. So if we're heading toward... if we're trying to make sure we have access to that stuff, the things that will help us make pie are most critical. Let's pick this up so we potentially have a source of tools. And then... maybe we do just have another game that ends up being pretty similar. Because, like, we could run this small farm thing. You know, we don't have to make this choice just yet, and we don't know which of those buildings we'll actually be able to even use. Oh, this is a tiny little island. Okay, a lot's going to come down to our interaction with the Strider port. How does this work? So, requirements... okay, we can juice up the chance to get rarer rewards, it looks like. Expeditions alternate between 2 types, blueprint and treasure. Blueprint expeditions give you a blueprint and a chest, while treasure expeditions offer only a chest, but with a better chance of getting a rarer one. And putting more supplies in. Okay. So, we do have fish. And we do have roots. What kind of thing would we want even? I get to pick a broad category of building. Yeah, I guess city buildings? Do I want to send 2 people out on this right away? We don't have... no, we do. We have 1 source of food in the village. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna send out an expedition right now. Perhaps that's foolish. We're also, of course, going to set up a woodcutter's camp. And we're also going to set up an herbalist camp back here. Alright, get ye berries. Okay, this trader's got the stuff. Gathering food, we're cutting down trees. And good luck to all of us. So, the hearth. The hearth provides resolve based on its current level. Well, the hearth provides benefits based on its current level. It can be upgraded by, first of all, having enough housing nearby, and secondly, building decorations around it that give the place more of a homey sort of feel. So if we upgrade it once, global resolve will be increased by 1, and the ancient hearth's resistance to corruption increases. We haven't talked about corruption. We haven't seen any of that yet. Don't worry about that for the moment. And all it takes is this stuff. House 8 people nearby, build 4 comfort decorations. If we raise it to level 2, we get another global resolve increase and also a global production speed increase. And if we raise it up again, there's a chance to double yields and global resolve goes up even more. So this is a thing that is worth doing, and we're totally going to pay attention to it once we have more people and resources. Hostility from woodcutters is decreased, or, gain jerky for every pie produced. This is quite meaningful, but we really are trying to head toward pie production, and then, we get extra value from the jerky. We should do this. We should take Sahilda's secret cookbook here, I think. And then we should also consider the construction of some shelters. I'm always pressing the wrong button to try to get these things to rotate. Okay. Just a basic block of tenements there. Alright, what do we know about our first orders? Build a trading post, deliver 5 amber. Deliver 35 wood, so this means we would have to give up 35 wood. It is very easy to do, but it doesn't give tools or biscuits. I kind of think we're going trading post. Trading post isn't that hard to fulfill. Just have 6 humans to get the design for the small farm and some grain and stuff. I like that a lot. We're at 3 humans already. And then here, deliver 15 copper ore, discover 2 glades, and rebuild or salvage 1 destroyed building. All right, I'm going to take this, I think, because I want to get credit for the glade that we're about to break into. Man, maybe I shouldn't. The danger with this, of course, is that you won't discover a glade that has a ruined building in it. We won't be able to pick our 4th deed or our 4th order until we make the selection for our 3rd order. So I will have to commit to that at some point, but we have some time. Let's see if we discover a glade that actually has a ruined building in it before we make that choice. Okay, we found ourselves a pond and a coal vein and some algae. Well, this feels like a good time to set up our first ever functional fishing hut. And over here, coal. All right, coal is a little different from a lot of resources in that you construct a mine on top of it, and then the mine, mines don't move around. They're a little bit more permanent than a lot of the other gathering buildings. And you can see, we're not allowed to build it in the open. It has to be built on top of the points of resources. Coal obviously burns in the hearth quite efficiently. Something to consider for later. Nothing we've seen here really makes me want to commit on that order yet. I think I'm going to take the woodcutters camp over to here. Let's try cutting through to there and see what's what. And here comes our strider. Okay, so we got the design for the tavern, wildly, and an uncommon sunken treasure containing 15 planks is pretty cool, and the perk for bonus woodworking tools. Wow. The rewards for these are really something. Can you please run out some resources and let's get some more of that going? We'll just do another really basic one. We're kind of waiting on more people here before we can really get into too much more. Just waiting for newcomers to show up. Okay, there we go. We finally have enough housing for everybody. Yeah, the weather on this island is a lot milder than I was expecting. Oh. I didn't realize the island's actually quite large. It's just we're at like the edge of a sort of a C shape. Interesting. So yeah, we definitely want to be cutting this way. Also, I have to say, the atmosphere here is lovely. It's very chill and relaxed. Are we going to get newcomers? I very badly need more people. We have housing for more people. We definitely have work for them. It would be wonderful to just get some more hands. Our single constructor working the absolute hardest to get that fishing hut built. I was kind of expecting it was going to happen at the beginning of the... I guess we're just in clearance. It's going to happen after the storm. What am I talking about? It feels like an unusually long time, though, doesn't it? Coal, reeds, and roots? Okay. Advanced smelting. Well, if we ever get the chance to smelt. Okay, so crew this time is going to require... Oh, you know what? We do have some porridge, actually. Take some of my algae. Yeah, just go ahead and send them out. I think we'll just send out a basic kind. Give me a food production building. I don't want to spend the extra resources to upgrade the rarity just yet. Alright, so we did get all the housing finished before the rains at least. You know, it strikes me that if we had humans favored... Yeah, with the porridge bonus and everything, we're actually not that far off of hitting the blue resolve threshold, at least during the non-storm seasons. Okay, newcomers. Absolutely overjoyed. No humans! Really, not a single human on offer. That's wild. I'll take you, I suppose. Yeah, that's a real bummer. We need we need more humans. Hostility is reduced by 15 every time you sell goods worth 30 amber, but complex food needs grant less resolve. Don't think I like that. Or relatives of your visitors send gifts for treating family members well. Get 40 water skins for every full reputation point gained through high resolve. I guess I'll take that. Yeah, I guess. I don't think that's great necessarily, but I don't think it's terrible either. All right, so now the question, like, were we to build a trading post right now? We don't necessarily have to, but were we to? Would it just be... Yeah, it probably just lives over here, right? Ah, yeah, look at that. With the additional coat need, we're so close to the blue threshold. All right, do we have enough people here? We can have one person fish. And we'll leave 2 on buildings. All right, trading post complete. Now we just have to get 5 amber out of it. So I might expand into a dangerous glade early. There's a reasonably good chance that we're going to run into an event that we just don't know what to do with. But also, you can get a real like head start on the kinds of things you're looking for with the kind of stuff you find in the more dangerous glades.
Hello.
And we did, we did get some free packs of provisions. These are actually pretty valuable. Yeah, we can make this amount of amber happen. So I'm going to need at least 5 to send back home. If I trade these all to you, we get 2.5 value there. Oh, you don't care for trees or for wood, which is a shame because wood is where a lot of our value is right now. All these raw resources are valued at kind of the same amount of, kind of the same nothing. We could trade you all these plant fibers and some amount of the food. I mean, the plant fibers are less valuable than the food, but I guess that makes sense. The food's more important. Okay, if I give you all my eggs, maybe not all my eggs. If I give you some of my eggs, let's say that. We still have berries and vegetables to live on. That's fine. Let's just go ahead and take this, do the trade-in, get some biscuits and some tools and whatnot. And we did gain an extra ability to, an extra blueprint here. I'm going to try not to make any choices until we see what's in the glade. I was kind of hoping to break through to that glade while the trader was still here. But boy, they sure are spending an awfully long time just walking back and forth. And chopping trees that are not the trees I specified. There we go. The moment the trader's gone, all of a sudden, they're happy to work. Alright, no nodes for the herbalist hut, sadly. Well, let's unassign you two for the moment. Alright, what do we got here? Roots, clay, fertile soil, excellent. Large abandoned cache, a cookhouse. Okay, well then, I think we are going to go ahead and take Lost in the Woods. I know we didn't get credit for any of these glades being opened, but we're definitely going to open 2 more glades. I'm not worried about that. In addition, beaver resolve above 20. That might actually be kind of tough. Packs of luxury goods are also kind of tough. I don't remember exactly what things can be included, but I don't think at the moment we are pulling anything that sounds like luxury. Let's go for that. And then deliver 2 ancient tablets, which we find sometimes with it interacting with the glade events, or deliver 50 roots. I feel like deliver 50 roots is extremely doable. Yeah, that one doesn't sound hard at all. So hold on, if I unfavor humans and then when the cooldown's up, favor the beavers, we're actually going to hit 20 really early. All right. In addition to all of that fun stuff, there's an ancient shrine here. An ominous shrine from a long-forgotten era. Dangerous, but might hold some useful knowledge. However, the curse of the forefathers is going to kill 5 of my villagers if we don't do something about this right the fuck now. So, we can loot the place. I guess we have to provide food to the looters. During looting, the forest hostility is greatly increased, but we get pretty good value. Or we can excavate it. We don't have the tools. And we're not going to get the tools soon enough. So as much as I would love to take the point of reputation, I think this is where we're going. We're just gonna get rid of it, and that's gonna solve the problem somehow. Get to work immediately, please. Sorry, this one. And you know, it is nice to have these chests of ancient tablets. Orders do ask for them a fair amount. Okay, blueprints. So we now know that we're going to get the small farm blueprint from elsewhere. What are the large? Are there large nodes here? Yeah, fertile field. We got the okay. There are large root deposits. So the size of foragers camp we have right now can't interact with those. So let's pick the advanced foragers camp, and then better fishing huts. I mean, if we're talking about working toward pie again, we do need a way of producing flour, and this does give us a way to smelt copper, which is a thing we might actually want to do. Okay. So while all that is happening, let's... I mean, we can turn all these into farm fields. They won't be useful just yet, but also there's no cost, really. The expedition's back. They brought back the bakery recipe. Wow. And an uncommon treasure. Coats and an improvement to our dye production. I mean, those coats are definitely welcome. Why are you at 14 now instead of the 16 that you were at? There we go. I think if we get them up to the 20 and hold it for enough time, this will check. They don't have to remain above 20 while we have the other thing. All right, so the next thing we gotta do is figure out how to rebuild this building. We're gonna need planks and bricks, and that means we're going to need a workstation. A little bit of goods refinement here. Okay, they're on this with well more than enough time to spare. The queen won't necessarily be like the happiest about that, but it is what it is. So there's a great big root deposit back here, but I suppose we can start by working on these little root deposits. Okay, beaver resolve is solid. I don't think that we need to favor them anymore because we're definitely not going to hit that blue threshold. What does the next expedition look like? Did we run out of... We did run out of porridge. So, okay, until we get some more processed foods, we're not going to be able to do another one. But that was a good like burst of productivity there. It was a good burst of free stuff, is what it was. So I need 8 planks and 4 bricks. Don't make fabric or pipes right now. This stuff can be made with the stone. Although it probably should be made of clay, and we do have sources of clay. Let's not produce too much in terms of just spending wood. Okay, this is finished. Now we're just waiting for those villagers to run the materials back home. And once they're done with that, we should probably get them build one of these. So this is a good example of what I was talking about. Early game, when you excuse me, when you run into these abandoned caches, if you don't have the tools, you can just crack them open with these resources. And usually, you know, it's very often the case you don't have any sea marrow yet. We just picked up a whole bunch, so we could break this open with the sea marrow. But I think we'll maybe just hold on to this, because like it's going to be harder for us to generate reputation the normal ways, given our sort of like how spread out our town's going to be and everything. Our initial positioning was a little weird. We still just have one person working on that. We have enough bodies here. Let's worry about upgrading the encampment level. So decorations come in 3 different types. There's comfort, harmony, and aesthetics. Right now, all we need to do is build some comfort stuff. So I'm going to set up just like a line of benches somewhere over here. Just a nice place for people to hang out. These are just made of unprocessed wood. Get that very easily. All right, 40 meat every time a villager dies or leaves. You know, obviously we don't want to be in position to be getting a lot of value out of that. Or meat production increases by 1 for every 25 times it's produced. I mean, that's kind of like not super exciting, but I do think it's better than the other one. We're more likely to get value from it than from the other one. This will get us most of the way to our human bonus. Also, a single water pipe in case we we decide we care about that. That puts us at exactly 12 people. So we have enough housing. All right, to repair this for me, and I'm going to take the woodcutters camp like back over to here for a second. Didn't really leave myself a lot of room for this thing. Well, this is inconvenient, but they can like walk around to get to it. All right, let's make sure we open up 2 more clearings so we get lost in the woods finished as well. And yeah, unfortunately, we are kind of again just like waiting for more bodies. Like I can't even make use of all of the gathering buildings I've built yet. Which order was the one that gives the farm? Okay, so we want 1 more human will let us build the farm. We're not close enough to our blue thresholds for anyone to gain that kind of favor yet. Okay. Oh, we're not allowed to upgrade above level 1 just yet. Well, all right, we got our level 1 upgrade. You can see the hearth building got a little fancier. There's these like columns and stuff. And we are getting our global resolve increase. Ooh, a treasure stag appeared and then fled into that camp. Do we want to try to open it? This was just some crummy roots and a royal treasure stag. You know, maybe this is foolish, but I think the answer is yes. I'm just going to narrow down the path. Just cut these trees. Let's see if we can get to that before it flees. That would actually be really handy. Okay, this got rebuilt, which is great. And it also means the people who were working on that are no longer working on it. So they can be used for other things. Have farm fields to just like deliver packs of stuff. I don't really want to be doing this kind of stuff. Again, so this is trade goods and building materials. I don't know if we even know how to produce trade goods. The default packing building gives you the ability to make crops and provisions and building materials packs. I don't know. I don't like either of these, but I'm going to take this one. And then this is Beaver Resolve above 26. That's pretty high. Packs of goods are produced faster. That's kind of interesting. These are expensive for sure. It's nice in theory that this one doesn't actually like cost you anything. You don't lose anything to do it, but at the same time, that's a very high number. I don't know how feasible that's going to be, so I'm picking this one. But I'm not happy about either of them, obviously. Alright, so I don't want to commit to too much stuff anywhere else until we see what the challenges from this new place are going to be. Alright, everybody's got to run lumber back out of the thing over to the warehouse, but at least they're close together this time. Alright, so first things first. Tools could be important. Alright, what do we got here? Reeds, a trout pond, but it's a large one. We need an improved fishing hut to do that. We got that. We got a tool shop, an old busted tool shop, which when repaired makes tools very efficiently, as well as pipes and boots. What do boots do? Okay, they fulfill a clothing need for mostly factions that we don't have open yet. So this one I feel like we can just salvage, and the salvage rewards are actually really good. As before, we have the catch versus release here. I think we're going to choose release. My suspicion is we're going to end up with a lot of hostility. There's going to be a lot of tree cutting going on. So we get our stag's blessing and half a point of reputation. I'm a little worried about how fast our impatience has built up here. And then we also have some escaped convicts, a dangerous glade event. Dangerous convicts from the smoldering city are hiding in this forest. They somehow managed to free themselves during transport. You could decide their fate. Welcome them and employ them in your settlement, or send them back to the Citadel where they will be punished. Which of course we would have to do by force. And we just barely have the resources for that, but if I do that with the tools we have, then obviously we can't use those tools for all the other things we'd like to use them for. If we persuade them to come and work for us, empathy, villagers are worried that desperate criminals might attack them, -6 to global resolve. This only affects the most insecure and most desperate villagers, and really is a completely absurd fear, which is mechanically shown by the fact that it just goes away after the quote unquote convicts have been here long enough. Yeah, I think we're just gonna welcome them in. I think we could use the new arrivals. They got fish and herbs, and apparently they know something about making incense. 3 free incense for every 10 roots produced is pretty good. Incense is at the very least like trade fodder, but also we already have the design for the tavern. The tavern's not an incense building. Well, whatever. We could get a building that uses incense to produce religion. I am definitely going to just persuade them. Somebody go out there and be diplomatic. And resolve-wise, this is an okay moment for this. The event will resolve just as the storm is starting. So we'll regain all that resolve. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Okay, Sahilda. We would like to sell 8 value worth of goods here to complete another one of our quests. And we do have ancient tablets, which are extremely valuable. We have a couple of extra wildfire essences that we definitely don't need. Biscuits can be produced in the kiln and the rain mill. That's kind of interesting. We do have a biscuit building, though. Workers who are assigned to a workplace that matches their comfort specialization get more resolve. I mean, I don't hate any of these. We could try to give them... We could try to get 15 amber off of her and just buy a perk. Like, that's definitely going to result in the loss of some tablets. We're going to have to trade her some tablets if we want to do that. Well, maybe not have to. If we were trying to get 15 amber off of you, if I'm willing to trade 2 of these, I can't imagine us using all of them. And then also... like a bunch of lumber. Have 121. So let's say 100 lumber. And then like a bunch of algae. We don't have a ton of need for algae right now. Trading all of the algae doesn't quite get us where we're going. I'd like to hold on to some just in case we do run into a need for it. And then we're just talking like 1.5 points. We got to be able to generate, yeah, like leather. We have leather. More than we need. Okay, that'll complete that, and it will let me take one of these. I kind of think long-term contract. Things that boost resolve, obviously, are a big deal. All right, extra woodcutter stuff, extra tools, extra biscuits. You two are not needed here for the moment. We kind of have all the advanced stuff we need, I think, right at this moment. Let's put a couple of humans on gathering. I don't think we quite need this structure yet. What else is important to do? Yeah, I guess the stone cutting, right? And then over here, I think we are just going to salvage this one. And I'll have to wait until there is some clay in the supplies. Oh, and we have a blueprint choice. We currently don't have a way of making skewers. It is worth noting that the temple is a place where we could benefit from the free incense. Do I want that more than I want skewers? We definitely already... Oh, no, never mind. Current best, you can see 2 stars there. We definitely already have a way of producing skewers. So, yeah. The clothier... I mean, we have a tavern. Way of producing ale seems pretty alright. We are, in fact, over our farm field threshold for agriculture. We're getting there. Things are coming along. It's a little bit more similar to the last town than I might ideally like, but it's coming along. Okay. We have the clay necessary to start this process. I'm actually going to be really happy to have 5 more people. This is going to help a lot. So when this finishes, it'll free up 7 bodies to assign to buildings. So everybody, okay, everybody's doing okay. Everybody's staying positive in the storm. Oh, except for this lizard who just showed up. Let's favor the lizards so that we don't lose that thing. We did get humans as well. I definitely need to build some housing for people, though. This should really have been sitting here waiting. It's not like the fact that I was going to need to support those people just like jumped out at me, right? It's a little silly on my part. But whatever, we'll get them housed and that'll help a lot with the resolve problems. And we've done this now. So let's build some farms. We have to cut into the trees a little bit to get the farm to be able to reach all of the fields. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I right-clicked again. There we go. All right, that should be sufficient, I would think. Let's just make it through the end of the storm here. Before we really worry about anything else. Food is still trending upward generally. We still have plenty of wood. You can see the contents of undiscovered glades, but discovering dangerous or forbidden glades kills a villager. Don't love that. But work safety guide probably doesn't do anything for us. We don't have the education. We don't have any of the education buildings right now, right? Oh, no, well, did I take the church? I think I didn't take the church. I don't think we're going to get any value out of either of these. I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to decline for the amber. And to be clear, that the one that kills one of your villagers, maybe I should have just taken that. It is very powerful. Okay, running out the last resources from the tool shop here. Things are mostly okay, but I'm feeling a little tense here. All right, I am going to cut this one into 2 segments. I don't want to accidentally go for like 2 hours again. So that is going to be where we stop it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're going to continue to establish this brilliant island paradise and hopefully send that strider out for treasure a few more times. And we'll see you then.